right, good morning to you viewers. But before we begin what's trending, let's highlight some rather disturbing news. The Bayelsa State High Court judge, Justice Umukoro, was kidnapped over the weekend by gunmen in front of a popular eatery in Yenagoa. The incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. Justice Umukoro was with his two daughters and had stopped to buy bread when the kidnappers, who eyewitnesses described as masked armed men in black combat attire resembling police or DSS operatives, attacked. Here is a video of the incident.
My phone is my car is tinted.
You got the fix. Why are you on the phone? Oh, this is serious. Jesus Christ.
This is quite scary. Well, according to eyewitnesses, the gunmen reportedly trailed the judge and forcefully dragged him into their vehicle and drove off. Well, during the struggle, the judge's mobile phone and a pouch containing his identity cards, ATM cards, and national ID card fell along with two mobile phones belonging to the abductors. A passerby reportedly picked up the judge's phone and handed it to the police. The motive for the abduction remains unclear, and no contact has been made with the judge's family nor ransom demanded. Justice Umukoro is known for driving himself without security details while off duty and was a former state chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association. The Bayelsa State Police Command has confirmed the incident and initiated a discreet investigation. I mean, we had our correspondent Theophilus Agidi also cover the story. I believe that he even spoke with some lawyers in that area, and I think that they said they're down in tools and they're going to go out to protest. This is so scary. I believe you even said that you were in Bayelsa State over the weekend as well. But this is what we're seeing in Nigeria. Over the weekend, at least 71 people were killed in several states across the country. In Kebbi State, 30 lives were lost due to bandit attacks. In the Zuru communities, Borno State experienced a suicide bomb attack at a food joint in the Konduga local government area. Additionally, a bomb in Abu local government area. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and Governors Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State and Uba Sani of Kaduna State have all condemned these attacks of violence. I mean, these stories that happened over the weekend, quite scary. Sat with the judge and 71 people across.
It's distressing, and especially because we're not really seeing a sense of urgency. We saw what happened in Benue. Yes, the president visited Benue, but what has followed up since then? He made a number of proclamations. Yes, we've seen some of the stakeholders have come together. They've started meeting, but we need urgency. And you know, what we said about Benue, Plateau, Borno, Kano, now you're looking at Bayelsa, is that this is something that is beyond talk shop. This is something that needs, whether it be state police or whether it be empowering communities, whatever it is, something needs to be done urgently. Now, we also have an issue because when we're dealing with insecurity, there are now two narratives around it, because the government maintains the position that these are political issues that can be dealt with by political solutions spearheaded by the governors of each state. But the people in most of these communities are still crying foul and saying that there's something more sinister at play. So, God, it's frustrating, but in the meantime, we need security restored in every corner of Nigeria urgently.
My heart goes out to these families, and of course, the judge in Bayelsa State. I hope that the police, find him sooner than later. Well, let's continue on what's trending. The presidency has reacted to comments made by former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, who over the weekend accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of supporting the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Lamido claimed in an interview right here on Arise News that Tinubu only gained prominence after the formation of NADECO, and that Tinubu's mother, Alhaji Abibatu Mogaji, mobilized market women in support of the annulment. Let's take a look.
I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he dramatizes all Luckily, we were all alive, we were all there, we were all, participating in that particular.
Spokespersons for President Tinubu, Mr. Bayelsa and also Mr. Dele Alake, they both said, look, this is revisionism, this is not the truth. Tinubu at that time was one of those persons involved in the struggle. In fact, it was on the basis of that the Alliance for Democracy made him the gubernatorial candidate in Lagos. Before he returned from exile, it was a different person that they had chosen. I think at that time it was Funsho Williams that they had chosen. But in appreciation of his contribution to the struggle against military rule and also in defense of June 12, they then decided to make him, the candidate of the Alliance for Democracy. That was how he became governor.
Yes.
In fact, it was in recognition of his commitment to that struggle. So for somebody to now come in 2025, 32 years later, and say, oh, he was not part of the struggle, or we played a better role than he did, well, that has been debunked by spokespersons for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But my argument is this. Look, we should focus on the significance of June 12. June 12 was considered the fairest and fairest election ever conducted in this country. And it was on the basis of that Professor Alfred Nwosu's name has been put on the honors list June 12, 2025 in recognition of what he did with the option A4 at that time. Number two, it was also a Muslim ticket. Emperor Abiola and Baba Gana Kingiri. That election unified Nigerians. They didn't vote along, religious lines. This was an election that could have unified the country, but the military thought it in their own, folly to annul that election, and that led to Nigeria being isolated in a lot of issues. In fact, Abacha did not seize government until November 17, 1993. So all that struggle, isolation of Nigeria, ostracism of Nigeria, and all of that struggle, everybody was involved. And I cited the example of Joe Ibuku's book, Heroes, Segun Adeniyi, The Ghost of June 12, which is a recently released book, Wale Osun's account of the protest, and several other accounts on that particular story. What we should focus on is the theme of June 12. This elected president, it would ensure prosperity. It will make Nigeria a better place for all.
Right.
That ideal, that goal, that objective of Hope 93 is still alive today.
Right.
Everybody who is in government, their assignment should be how to make this place better for us all,
right,
and how to ensure farewell to poverty.
Absolutely.
We have not achieved that objective yet. That should be the discussion.
Right.
Not my Mercedes is bigger than yours. I was the one that was there. I contributed more than you.
Right.
No. That's not what we want.
Well, several people have responded to Sule Lamido, including Dele Alake, who actually said that President Tinubu defended the June 12, election, and also the fact that Sule Lamido himself was part of the people who surrounded it by endorsing, a controversial interim government. That's what Dele Alake. Absolutely.
Including his own image. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Well, all right.
That is the truth.
We'll take another story.
Empirical fact.
Empirical fact. We'll take another story. Highlighting the grand reception held in the Akwa Ibom State capital to officially welcome Governor Umo Eno to the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje and other prominent APC leaders. Dr. Lakpabio expressed strong confidence that the entire South-South region of Nigeria will cast its votes for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general election, and that suspended Governor of Rivers State, Tim Fubara, and the Governor of Bayelsa State, Doyo Diri, are next in line to join the All Progressives Congress. Let's take a look.
Excellency Governor Minor, today is for you. Today is for President Tinubu. Today is for the South-South. Today is for Akwa Ibom. But most especially, as the river said, Bayelsa will join. And of course, election after Governor 2 in Edo State.
Media over the weekend, Dr. Abati. Well, let me take Festus Keamo's response to this registration. And, his tweet reads in part. He wrote, if they are thinking of recreating what the APC did in 20...
to throw a spanner in the works. But for me, why I think this is significant and important, whether or not it turns out to be the vehicle, the official coalition vehicle, is the fact that there were some accusations that had been flying around that INEC is not registering new parties. And this will be the true test of whether INEC is allowing new parties into the space in preparation for 2027 based off of those allegations that have been dismissed severally. And it will give us a guide of what the playing field is like, how free, fair, and equal the playing field is as we count down to 2027. But until then, Ada, yes, we know some of the people involved, but largely we're still waiting for the real, shall we say, the real leaders to step forward and say that, this is us behind Ada, because we know the coalition, but is it Ada that's the actual coalition vehicle?
All right. Well, let's take this cherry story. Last week, during the commissioning of a newly completed collector road in Abuja, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, publicly promised.
Now that the minister can sing in Chinese language, his fee will be increased. His fee will be increased. Now that he can sing in Chinese. Brothers and sisters.
I know Dr. Abati's cracking up. What did I say? Chimucha!
When we see something that is very interesting,
we have to fight as a coalition. Everything.
Glamour, to even the commissioning of projects. This same man gave us as he did sweet us, he will be paying them, as he did paying them, he will be sweet us. And now they've come with change one. But it's okay. Wike has created jobs for them. He has taken them from Rivers to Abuja, and they seem to be adding color, which is the nature of politics. I find it refreshing.
I do too. That's why I thought I should highlight it for our viewers. Well, let's head over to Anambra State now, where the Anambra North Stakeholders Forum, comprising various political affiliations, endorsed Governor Soludo for a second term during an event over the weekend, where traditional rulers from the Anambra North Senatorial Zone also conferred upon him the chieftaincy title of Alute in recognition of his leadership and developmental strides across all sectors of the economy. In a video now making rounds on social media, the governor was seen dancing to Flavor's Game Changer in celebration of the honor. Let's take a look.